Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about who the big bad will be in Mortal Kombat 1. I have talked about this sporadically across a few videos, but I haven't really made a designated video for it. And since I've been seeing a lot of videos and also theories on like Twitter and stuff, I was like, okay, I want to make my own video on this topic. And I don't really have one solid conclusion yet, and I don't think really anybody does, since we simply don't have enough information about who the big bad is going to be. But I do think in the near future, especially with the gameplay trailer coming up, more tweets and teasers are going to come within that, which will show us more about the story and the big bad, but we will see. I do want to say shout out to Dynasty and bruskpoet, as their videos inspired me to make my video. But with that said, let's start. So if we go back to the Mortal Kombat 11 announcement trailer, which again, this is an announcement trailer here, the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer that we got, so I do think it makes sense to compare it to the other announcement trailers. So going to the Mortal Kombat 11 one, after the fight between the different Scorpions and Raiden, it does say "You're next," which of course is the tagline, and then it shows a teaser of Kronika. Now the reason that this is important is because Kronika was a completely new villain, right? And then they showed a teaser for her at the end of this trailer. But if we go to Mortal Kombat X's announcement trailer, this is a game that had a returning Mortal Kombat villain. It didn't have like a new character for the main big bad. And in this trailer, it ends with the, let's see, where's the tagline? The tagline here, and then there is no teaser for a character. So if we go based off of this, Mortal Kombat 11 introduced a new villain and it showed them in a teaser. Mortal Kombat X had a returning villain and didn't show anything in the teaser. And Mortal Kombat 1 also doesn't show anything in a teaser. It doesn't really mean anything, but I do think that it is important to note, since maybe if NRS was going to make an original villain for this game, they would have teased them in the trailer like they did with Mortal Kombat 11. But that of course is not confirmed in any way, like who knows, right? But this isn't all I want to talk about, of course. So some of the bigger things here have to do with previous tower endings that we've gotten for certain characters in the past. So for example, this ending here is Kung Lao's ending in Mortal Kombat 11. Shout out to Mr. Alucard for posting this. Kung Lao talks about how he is going to make the great Kung Lao win every single Mortal Kombat tournament. He's going to be the undisputed champion, but that is until a new threat emerges. And so right here, a new threat is emerging, and that is Onaga. So as you guys can see, there's a big red portal in the sky, very similar to what we get to see in Mortal Kombat 1 in the trailer. So here you go, there's a big red circle in the sky. Everyone is pointing this out, but I thought I might as well acknowledge it here, since it does have to do with the past, so who knows, they might actually be doing this and be fully realizing this tower ending to some extent. And on that topic, there's another tower ending scarily close to Mortal Kombat 1. I don't like it, I really don't, because I personally do not like this theory and I don't want it to become true. But if it does become true, genuinely, I think as long as they do it correctly, it could be okay. But it really does depend on how they write it. I can't remember if Dynasty or bruskpoet talked about this one, but anyway, shout out to them both, because their videos again helped me make mine. So I can't remember who talked about this, but one of them did. So in Mortal Kombat 9, and I'll play this for you guys right here.
Shang Tsung voraciously consumed Shao Kahn's soul, absorbing his immense power. Overwhelmed by his newfound sorcery, he fled to Outworld. Moments before suicide, Shang Tsung was visited by Boraicho. The mentor of warriors offered to teach him to control the dark magic, but for a special purpose. Liu Kang had become a god. The power had corrupted him, transforming him into a tyrant. He needed to be stopped. After rigorous training, Shang Tsung mastered the one technique that could finish Liu Kang. Vengeance would finally be his.
Okay, so as you guys saw, Liu Kang became a god, and him like becoming a god and coming into godhood actually was bad for him. He actually used the power for the wrong reasons, and he became corrupted. And we've seen this happen before with Raiden, but I would hope that we don't see it happen with Liu Kang. And there's been so many theories around this topic, and they do hold a lot of weight, right? Like these claims actually make sense, especially when you play parts like this of the trailer, which I'm not sure how loud this is, so let me just play this for you guys.
Then you have chosen war with a god.
So this whole part of the trailer, a lot of people talk about, and I think for good reason, because Liu Kang here, he really is, you know, putting his foot down, being very stern about peace, and that of course is a good thing. No matter how you want to look at it, it is good for the Earthrealm Protector to be very, adamant about peace and keeping the peace. But the thing that a lot of people like to point out here is how like almost forceful Liu Kang is here. And that is true, like just watching it, I don't have to say it for you. He is very aggressive and he is very adamant about this. And so it does kind of feed into the theory that Liu Kang is going to become evil, that he is going to, succumb to these godly urges because he has so much control, he has so much power, that he is going to abuse that power, he's going to, do this, that, and the third in order to create his perfect world. And that kind of also ties back to this tower ending where Shang Tsung has to actually stop Liu Kang, which is interesting because Shang Tsung is in this trailer as well. So again, we all know Shang Tsung enters this new era of Liu Kang's and comes through this portal here, and then he kills all of the Earthrealm fighters. But for all we know, Liu Kang actually had them be like hurdles for Shang Tsung. Liu Kang let him fight all of them before he fought him, and if Liu Kang needed to step in, he would have. Now, I personally do not like this theory because I don't think it's in character for Liu Kang to let all of those people die just because he didn't want to start fighting immediately. Like, that doesn't make sense unless Liu Kang has to follow a certain set of rules from the Elder Gods, just like Raiden did. It doesn't really make sense to have that theory of Shang Tsung fighting all of these Earthrealm fighters just because Liu Kang was like, hey, you guys go fight him first, and then if he kills all you guys, then I'll step in. That doesn't really make sense. And that is a theory that people have said. I think it was in Dynasty's video. But yeah, it just doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think that's in character for Liu Kang at all. I think the only reason that we see the trailer be this way is because these trailers do depict some things from the story, but they are never like 100% accurate. So the reason that they showed it in this trailer was just to like show off the gore and show off all of these like fatalities and the way that the game's gonna be. I don't think that this is actually having to do with the story beats, and it doesn't have to really reflect the actual main aspects of the story. So I don't think that Liu Kang would ever let all of these people die before he steps in, especially since if that's the argument that you want to use, then you would have to also point out how Liu Kang is literally right here as Shang Tsung is leaving the portal. So that obviously doesn't make sense. I don't think Liu Kang would let all of these people die. But this theory connected to this tower ending does hold a lot of weight, and I think the more you speculate about it, you can definitely find several reasons why Liu Kang might be the big bad. I personally do not want this to happen, but if it does, I do think NetherRealm can find a way to write around it and make it good. Like, they can write a good and seamless way into making this happen, but it definitely is not what I would prefer for Liu Kang's character. Also, I do believe one of the writers actually pointed out how Liu Kang is like molding this world to be what he wants, and he'll do anything to have that by like changing friendships, changing rivalries. Like, there was a tweet, I'll show it up on screen, and I think that it was made by one of the writers of Mortal Kombat 1, so do keep that in mind as well. Okay, so doing a quick rundown of what we've said so far, based off the trailers, we can kind of draw a conclusion that a Mortal Kombat villain is going to return for Mortal Kombat 1. And then on top of that, tying into these tower endings, we can maybe draw the conclusion that it'll be Onaga or it will be Liu Kang. That's like basically it for what I have on theories for the main villain. Since this game is a huge reboot and it is a new era for the franchise, I definitely can see characters like Goro, like Shao Kahn, characters like Motaro returning just because this game is like a completely new era. It is going back to basics. It is a huge reboot for Mortal Kombat. So it would make sense for NetherRealm to bring back a bunch of old villains, not only for like nostalgia, we are going back in time, so it does really make sense to see these villains return. I don't think any of those will be the main villain. I think that they are going to want to make the main villain be something special, be a huge comeback, be something huge for this new era. For me, that genuinely does leave it between Liu Kang being evil or Onaga, because I do think that these are the characters that are really worthy of being the main villain and could be like a huge, like, slap in the face. Like, these are big evil villains, you know what I mean? Like, these are not like your run-of-the-mill Shao Kahn's, Goro's, like, you know what I mean? I think you guys get what I'm saying. I have seen a few people also bring up Blaze, but I don't think Blaze will ever become a villain again. Like, I can definitely see him being like an underling or something like that, but I don't think Blaze will ever be the main villain again in a future Mortal Kombat game. That doesn't mean that he can't come back though. Like, for example, when they bring back Tremor, they changed him up and made him like a lot cooler than he was in the past. So I can definitely see them doing something similar with Blaze, but we will have to see, of course. but I do also want to mitigate expectations a bit, since I don't want everyone to be like up in arms if NRS does make an original villain for this game, because it is still possible. I know a lot of people didn't like Kronika and also had a lot of mixed opinions about her, and she was a completely new villain, right? She was not a returning villain, she was new and made by NRS. And this could definitely happen again. Like, it really depends on how you want to look at it, because I could see it both ways, where NetherRealm, since they are rebooting the series and making it a completely new start, they could want to bring back an old villain that people love, but they could also want to create something entirely new, since it is a new start. But let me know what you guys think down below. Who do you think is most likely to be the main villain? I don't know if there's any leaks about this, by the way, so please, if you have seen leaks or something, don't be in the comments like, hey, actually in the leaks it says that it's actually going to be Goku and Vegeta as the main villains. Like, bro, I'm not talking about the leaks, I don't know that shit. I am doing pure speculation here. And I do really like theories about the old tower endings, because I think that these hold a significant amount of weight to them, especially like a whole lot more than just saying like, oh, I think it's going to be Shao Kahn. Like, why? Why do you think it's going to be Shao Kahn? You know what I mean? These actually have reasons to them. And then also, I didn't really talk about it much, but I do think that Shang Tsung could also be the main villain in this game. There's only a few reasons why I think he wouldn't be, and that is because, for one, he is the pre-order bonus in this game, and if you go back to like Mortal Kombat X, for example, or Mortal Kombat 11, Shao Kahn was the pre-order bonus for Mortal Kombat 11, and he did not end up being the big bad. And then in Mortal Kombat X, it was Goro, and Goro didn't even end up being part of the story really, so do keep that in mind. However, I do think that since Shang Tsung was the huge, ultra big bad of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, it does make sense for him to have a pivotal part in the story this time around. But who knows? I mean, Shang Tsung is always there, he's always going to be part of the story, and I mean, that's proven by them showing him in this trailer, right? So even if he isn't the main big bad, I could definitely see him working with them, or even being a pivotal part of the story in some other way. Alright, so I did pull up that tweet by Dominic Ciancillo, I think is how you say it. I apologize if I said it incorrectly. I know you guys get really mad when I mispronounce stuff, I really do not mean to. But the tweet that he had said, "People, realms, rivalries. Liu Kang has tinkered with all to achieve his vision." Now this is very important. I do want to talk about this in this video a little bit, because even though it doesn't really have to do with the big bad, it kind of does if you really want to look at this as an evil action. So Liu Kang does seem to have created this timeline all by himself. He completely decided to make everything different. And one thing I think is really important to talk about, which I haven't talked about in any video, is the fact that he mentions realms. Actually, no, I did say this in a video, my bad. I think it was the Conquest video. But if you look here, this should be Edenia, right? In theory, this should be Edenia where Kitana and Melina are. And they're looking at the red circle in the sky. But then if you go to Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which is presumably in Earthrealm, they see the same red circle. So when you think of it that way, when he says that Liu Kang tinkered with the realms, does that mean that Liu Kang made all the realms into one circle? Like one Earth, one planet? Like, how does that make sense? I really don't know how they would be seeing the same thing inside of every realm. I really don't know. So maybe Liu Kang merged all the realms, maybe outside of like NetherRealm and Outworld, but we really don't know, and we will find out soon, I'm sure. But it is interesting to mention, because some people will see this and instantly think that this is an evil action on Liu Kang's part. But even if you want to say Liu Kang is playing God and he's doing too much, he really is a god. Like, he is. Plain and simple, he is a god. Does that give him the right to do this? I don't know. It really depends on what you want to say. But all in all, this power could get to his head and he could do too much, and he can use his control for the wrong means, which can ultimately shape him up to be the villain of Mortal Kombat 1. But with that said, that's basically it. I really do apologize about my voice. I am extremely sick, and that is why I have not been able to get you guys a video these last few days, so I do apologize about that. My voice is being strained so much doing this, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will do my best to get videos out this week. I'm just hoping that my sickness goes away, right? Let me know what you guys think down below. I would love to read all your comments. And ladies, gentlemen, and NB beauties, make sure you all stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
말이 되니 난 물어봐 너는 말야 He's only sleeping in my